So this is our honeybee hive. We had a few extra minutes at the end of the video, so we thought it'd be nice to show you how we collect our honey, how we feed our bees. This is our first year keeping bees. These are Italian honeybees. It's early in the morning and you can see they're already very, very busy, living up to their reputation. And today we're going to show you how we feed them.
Before we go into our hive, John and I like to smoke the bees. Experts usually don't do it for something like this, but we wanted to show you actually underneath the sugar water feeder so you could actually see them working and building comb. So as a precaution, we're going to smoke the bees. We like to start with some dry pine needles, which are my favorite because they light very fast, especially in the morning when there's dew all over the ground. Sometimes it's hard to find dry material to get it lit. Whenever you light the material and you get it really hot, you're going to want to put some green grass or something wet on top because you don't want to burn the bees with the heat from the smoke. If you do that, you just upset them and you're asking for a boatload of trouble. So it's very easy. I have the smoker and I have my starter pine needles, which I use to get it lit. And all you have to do is take your lighter and slowly let it catch. And believe it or not, these will actually go up pretty fast depending on how much wind there is. And be careful you don't burn your hands. When you put it in, you can press the smoker to let it breathe. And as it breathes, you keep adding more pine needles until it starts billowing smoke like it is right now. So I keep adding them in. What you want to do is you get some nice sparks in the bottom so that the smoker lasts through the duration with which you're in your beehive. So you just keep adding it. The only part of this that I hate is it gets in my eyes. I should wear goggles. Alright. And I usually can tell when I have it lit pretty good because it starts coming out orange and it's not a pure white smoke. So that's when I'm happy with what I've got at the bottom, and I will take my greens, put the greens on top, close the lid, and then just get it going a little bit like that. So when you smoke, all you have to do is press the little bellows on it and it comes out and you can aim it to where you want it to go, and it's a nice cool smoke, but you never want to get right up to the bees to smoke them. You absolutely need to be a few feet back unless it's really windy out.
Alright, so as Aiden was telling you, we smoke the bees just because we've just started doing this. A lot of people do not bother with the smoking, but it does help calm them down. What we're going to show you today is how we add sugar water. Now, these bees, like I said, it's the first year we're keeping them. The bees needed to build up their hive. The sugar water helps them do that. It encourages them to build the comb and make sufficient reserves to live through the winter. We won't be getting honey this year, but next year we're going to get tons of honey. And so the sugar water helps make sure that they survive through the winter and that they come back next year in full force, able to make a ton of honey for us. So, this white box on top here is where the sugar water goes. I'm going to show you how we get that. We keep a rock on top to keep unwanted pests out of there. And as you can see, I don't wear a suit for this stuff. Doesn't mean I haven't been stung, but and you can see they're all out of sugar water there. So the first step, since we want to show you the inside of the hive, is going to be removing this box and letting you know what's underneath. It's really very cool. Now, one of the nice things about these bees is they are Italian honeybees. And according to my grandmother, the Italian honeybees make the best honey. And I'm pretty sure she thinks that just because they're Italian. In actuality, the bees themselves are not from Italy, but the queen is an Italian queen. And since the queen is the mother of all of the bees, that means all of the bees as well are Italian. So here you have the inside of the hive. You can see it is just brimming with bees. I'm going to smoke it a bit just to make sure that they're nice and calm. You see they all go down to the inside of the hive. Smoke encourages them to do that. And there they all go, back inside. And the smoke just calms them down. Now in actuality, the Italian honeybees do not make any different honey than any other bees, but they are still the best for beekeeping because they're very calm. They don't like to sting. It's one of the reasons why I can go in without a suit and handle them, and they do just fine. And that is because Italians are lovers, not fighters. So we moved the camera to give you a better view of the inside of the hive, and you can see them busy at work in there. What they're doing right now is they're building comb where the queen can go and lay eggs and new bees can hatch, and they also store some honey in that comb so that they can survive throughout the winter. And there they are, all hard at work. Some of them are flying out getting pollen, some of them are helping the queen lay her eggs, some of them are building honey. They all have little jobs, and that's what they do all day. So they basically they all have a purpose and a function, and they all just work all day to make their hive survive.
Busy as a bee.
Alright, so now we're going to put the box back on, now that you've seen the inside, so that we can give them the sugar that they need in order to build as much comb as possible. And they're going to be very, very happy about this. So the sugar water, just 1 part sugar, 1 part water, very simple syrup. And we give it to them in those measurements because that's just the correct weights and amounts that you need in order to encourage them to build comb. You just pour it in. And there you have it. You can see them already starting to come down and have a little taste. And they'll just come right up through the underneath, over that little ledge, grab some sugar water, and bring it back down. And that is how you feed bees. Be sure to check us out when we do have some honey, and we'll be happy to share it with you.